Okay, welcome back to Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you another pick and prediction video. We're talking CFP Semifinal, Indiana versus Oregon. Let's put it out there now. If I sound off, it's because I'm a little to a lot under the weather, but it is what it is. We got these games kicking off in a couple days, so I wanted to get these videos out there. Oregon comes into this game as Indiana comes into this game as a 3.5 point favorite. It's open at 4. It's gone down to 3.5, but I'm sure you're going to see a lot of line moving over the next 36 hours. So look out for that depending on which side of the bet you're on. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into these matchup analysis of this rematch. Or Indiana won the first game 30-20 in Eugene, Oregon's only loss of the season. So first, let's talk about, obviously you got to talk about Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. A very efficient passing game, high EPA profile, right? Low and explosive rate. He really only throws deep shots down to Charlie Becker, who's averaging 20 yards a catch. Elijah Surratt is their best wide receiver. He's more of an intermediate threat, but he's a legit #1 target who can make plays pretty much against anybody he's faced this season. Oregon, however, though, is one of the best pass defenses in the country, maybe the best pass defense in the country. They're top 3 in yards per allowed, completion percentage, success rate allowed, and 13th in explosives. And then in the first game, in game 1, Mendoza, 6.9 yards per attempt, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick six. Didn't really have, could make the argument this was Mendoza's worst game of the season. So it makes sense against an elite level pass defense that the Ducks have. One factor I think is going to be big in this game is turnovers. Indiana, second nationally in turnover margin per game. In the first game, they held, even though they had a pick six, they held a 2-1 turnover margin. I don't see Mendoza throwing a pick six against the same team in the same season. So Oregon's going to have to try to manufacture some other big plays to force turnovers in this game. Oregon's pressure rate is 10th nationally, but they're 54th in sack rate. So they get pressure, but they don't necessarily get home. And you saw that in the first game with only 1 sack. So only 1 sack, forced to 1 turnover. How is Oregon going to create some havoc and some chaos for Mendoza in the backfield in this game is going to be big in deciding it. And then you got run game. Indiana's run game has been stout all year. Kalen Black, Roman Hemby. As a team, they're averaging 221 yards rushing per game. EPA per rush is top 15 nationally. I will say this, though, in the first game against Oregon, when you remove Mendoza's quarterback scrambles, because he had some good scrambles in that game, 31 attempts for 80 yards, so not so good. So Oregon's defense did a good job on him. And Oregon, in terms of EPA per rush, negative 0.0626, one of the best in the country, but they allow 45% success rate. So you can have some success against this Oregon rush defense, but to a degree. It's a hard ceiling on how well you can do. So let's go ahead and flip this matchup and go to the other side of the ball. Indiana defense, top 15 in EPA, success rate, explosive pass plays, one of the best pass defenses in the country this year. Going against Dante Moore, who's been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country this year. Some people are saying that he could be the #1 pick of the draft. He goes out for the draft. Personally, I think it's a huge mistake, but is what it is. I want to point this out, though, because some of these Big Ten teams, they got inflated stats. Indiana does too. When you look at the top defenses they face, the top 2 Oregon has faced this year. So Indiana game 1, Texas Tech in the quarterfinal round, because Texas Tech's defense for real, you guys saw it. Negative 9.6 EPA, 40% success rate, 6.3 yards per attempt. That's not good. Dante Moore struggled. He struggled against Indiana. He struggled against Texas Tech. Indiana brings heat. Sacked him 6 times in the first game. They sacked Julian Sain in the Big Ten Championship about 5 or 6 times. They had multiple sacks against Alabama. They're going to bring pressure. One thing you can guarantee in this game is Dante Moore is going to be under pressure. We saw how the issues they have on the offensive line. And Indiana is just a disciplined football team that brings heat. So for Oregon to have success in this one, I think they're going to have to be able to run the ball. And if you haven't heard, saw this news today, Jordan Davison, Oregon's star freshman running back, he broke his clavicle in the Texas Tech game. I missed that. And they haven't ruled him out, but they're fearing a broken clavicle. If he's got a broken clavicle, you're not playing 7 days later, right? So I'm thinking he's going to be out for this game, obviously. And he led the team in rushing in game 1. And in game 1, when you remove the sacks, they went 27 for 108. So Oregon ran the ball against Indiana. And Indiana, against their better run defenses they face, because you see the metrics, they're elite. But the better run offenses they face, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, 22 attempts for 103 yards per game. That's the running backs, not overall. The running backs did that. So, Oregon running game, it'd been nice if they had Davison because they could get something going on the ground in this one to take some pressure off of Dante Moore. All right, finally, let me go ahead and get into my pick. So, Indiana 3.5 point favorite. My model, I got Indiana as a 1 point favorite. Sorry about that. When I look at this game, I saw an opportunity for Oregon to compete in this one. And it went up in smoke with Jordan Davison potentially and likely missing this game. He's 6', 235. Whittington and De'Aaron Hill, those are smaller backs. I think he would have been great in pass protection because they're going to need it. I think he had a good game in the first one, 8 for 59. If they fed him more, he'd be able to get more going against this Hoosier defensive front. Losing him, now I'm thinking that Oregon's really going to struggle offensively because I don't think Dante Moore is going to have a good game. I think he's going to be under duress in this one. I think he's going to turn over the rock again in this one. I think the Oregon pass defense is going to be able to contain Mendoza to a degree, but eventually the Heisman winner is going to make plays down the field to Surratt and Becker and Omar Cooper. Hemby and Black eventually are going to hit a run here or run there to get them in the scoring position. I don't think Indiana is going to blow the doors off of Oregon, but I don't think this Duck offense is going to be able to manufacture much offensively because I don't believe Whittington and De'Aaron Hill are really going to get anything going on the ground. Davison, to me, was the key for the Oregon Ducks in this one. I like the Hoosiers laying the 3.5. The hook scares me, but I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3.5. So anyways, if you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, all that, as you're going to see more pick and prediction videos. I'm going to have the second semifinal game coming up here shortly. Take care.
Passion before desire. I've been away trying to build a will up this life require. Slowly letting go to regain